Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's really bright, and it's probably not going to be that bright for very long. Hello. Hello, and welcome to a surprise live stream of the channel, as many of you know, and hopefully this thing is working, and you can fire off in the comments if it's not, or if something's wrong with the audio, because this is actually a completely new computer, so I haven't really balanced anything yet on this computer, so, it's possible that something might break. If that is the case, let me know. I'm going to, hopefully try and adjust things a little bit here. This cable for this camera was just a little, nope, whoa, we don't want that. Cable for that camera was just a little short, so I had a hell of a time setting that up right now. More or less, I wanted to make sure that this thing was still working and make sure that this computer works with live streaming. I haven't tested it on this computer, so before we begin here, I guess I will briefly, and I'll kind of share some things about what's been going on with the channel and stuff, and what the future holds for the channel as well. I put out an update about it the other day, but I wanted to just kind of mess around with Doom 2016. I'm excited about Doom Eternal coming out on Friday. Really looking forward to that, so I wanted to mess around with it tonight, and I figured might as well stream it. Since I'm actually feeling okay right now for once, which is unusual considering everything that's going on right now. So, anyways, I thought we'd, mess around with Doom. I'm going to just adjust the desktop audio just a little bit so it's not, blazing loud here. And I'll mute that as well. And again, if there's any audio issues, let me know, because it's been some time here. So let's fire up Doom. Be a moment here to minimize that and minimize that, and hopefully things don't break. So, and I know this is sacrilegious, but I'm going to be playing with the controller because I just don't feel like you guys hear me the click and clackety of the keyboard that I have with this computer. So yeah, let's see what's been going on with the channel. I put out an update about kind of what's been going on with the channel, why I haven't returned for such a long time, and why it's been the way that it has for some time here. But I can run down as best that I'm willing to admit right now, or that I'm willing to share, I guess, with the channel and stuff here. Let's see. One thing, I'm going to adjust the in-game audio here really quick so I'm not getting blasted. And hopefully things are working okay. Things are looking okay. But for me, I just need the game to be a little quieter, so I'll bring it down to like maybe 85. That seems fair. So I've been playing this. I'm not starting a new game or anything like that. I've actually been playing this off and on here a little bit, so when I'm feeling up to sitting at a computer that isn't my job, sitting at a computer for 8 hours a day, but then coming home and wanting to sit. So let's see here. So yeah, what's been going on with the channel? So for me specifically here, I have been dealing with some stuff behind the scenes, as you guys have seen. For people that don't know, about 4 years ago, so about a year before I started this channel, started this YouTube journey, I was diagnosed with a gallstone, and at that time I weighed about 400 pounds. I was very, very unhealthy. Ate a lot of fast food. Taco Bell was my big offender. At this time, this is when I was working at GameStop, so my biggest thing would be I would get done with the shift, I would go and buy an unhealthy amount of Taco Bell. I'm not going to go through what a typical Taco Bell order would be, but let's roughly say a typical order would be like many calories, like maybe I'm not going to beat around the bush, probably like 4,000 calories. A lot, like more than you should have in a sitting. Let's put it that way. I did this like 4 times a week, so like I ballooned up, man. Like I weighed a very unhealthy amount of weight, put on a very unhealthy amount of weight, and was like that for a long time, and started having, you know, pain and issues. And what did it for me was I actually had 2 attacks, as they're known, while driving, which is the scariest time to ever have something like this happen. The first time it happened, I was actually, ironically, in a Taco Bell drive-thru, and somehow I was able to still pay for my food, but like I did it at like a really, you know, like lounged back, sitting, you know, because when that happens, it's essentially what I can describe that attack as, at least for me, and it's different for everybody, but it was like having a Charlie horse in your stomach. It sucks. It's really not fun. And so it happened, and I'm like, what the hell is this, you know? And I just figured I pulled a muscle or something. Didn't really think much of it. And I made it through, you know, then went around the block still having this, and then it took me like a half hour, and then I got home. And at that time, I was kind of like, this doesn't feel right. Laid low for a couple. I had the next couple days off work, so I laid low. But the important thing to note is when this first happened, and this was, you know, in, I'd say, August of 2015. So shit, almost 5 years ago. When this happened, there we go. So when this happened, I kind of just played it off. I was like, whatever. I pulled a muscle, laid low for a couple days, went away. Continued to eat unhealthy. Continued to just cram food down my mouth hole, basically. And I did this until December. And then my girlfriend and I went out to see, it was Krampus, the movie Krampus. And as we were driving, it happened again. I had an attack. And actually, she was with me at the time. So she saw this firsthand. And that's when, you know, it happened. I pulled over. We were able to successfully pull over without me hitting anyone. And she's just like, is this what happened to you a couple months ago? I'm like, yeah. She's like, that's not right. And she's like, you need to go see somebody. And she's like, that doesn't seem like a doctor, or that doesn't seem healthy. I'm like, okay. And it took a little bit, but it took some convincing, but I finally went to see a doctor. And that's when I had tests done and it was confirmed, like, hey, you have 1 acute gallstone. But it's small. It really shouldn't be affecting you. They keep using the term silent. And at that time I was told, just, you know, maintain a healthy diet, exercise, you know, and you'll be okay. I'm like, okay. I'm probably going to mess this up really bad. Maybe not. Where does this thing go? I vaguely remember this part of the game. I remember getting the BFG. So that's what I remember. Anyways, back to story time. So, and I did, you know, I took that as a real wake-up call, and I quit fast food cold turkey. I worked really hard for the next, I'd say, 8 months, and then it was about a year. It took about a year. I lost over 100 pounds. I got so low down. If I weighed 400, the lowest I ever weighed, and I was sick at the time, so I don't count this, but I weighed 283. It was like the lowest I'd weighed since high school. Like I lost a real amount really fast. And 290 was roughly that. And I've put some of that back on over time since I've, you know, reintroduced some things into my diet, but I've never gone back to fast food. The only fast food item I've had in almost 5 years was an Impossible Whopper last summer. That's it. So I have not had any fast food whatsoever, and I'm not counting things like Jimmy John's or Subway or something. I still eat those things, just very seldom. And anyways, whatever. Lost all that weight, pain went away, didn't deal with it for a long, long time. And this past January, you know, while I was on break, built this new computer, which you guys are seeing Doom on right now. Me playing, non-playing Doom. Anyways, I really don't remember what to do at this part, so I'm probably going to have to look it up. Anyways, so I get all that, you know, built, you know, me and my buddy, we build this new computer that I'm using now, and I've done a little editing on it. It's much faster. I'll go through the specs of this computer at some point here. And get all that done, and I'd say it was about mid-ish January I started to have pain. And when it first happened, I just thought I was, because I also suffer from IBS, and I just chalked it up to that. I was like, oh, IBS is acting up again, because that happens with me all the time. And I'm not going to go into that. It's a terrible lifelong disease. It's not pleasant to talk about. You can Google it if you want. I'm not going to go into details on that. Anyways, that's what I assumed. So I went to urgent care after the pain started getting really, really, really intense, and they were like, "Yeah, that's what it is. You need to take some stuff and clean yourself out, and you'll be okay." I'm like, "Okay." Do all that. 2 horrible days of that. Get all done. In fact, while I'm sitting here, we're gonna look this up really quick because it's been some time here. Maybe not. Oh wow. Can I pause this? Okay, cool. Anyways, do all that stuff, right? So I get done. Doom 2016. And if you hear that keyboard, I'm sorry. Do all that stuff, right? So I do all this stuff. I clean myself out, because that was what it was. It was, it basically was like, hey, we think this is what's going on. Clean yourself out, you'll be okay. I did that. Felt a little bit better, but the pain remained. And the weird thing about it is the pain's been on my right side, not my left, or the pain's been on my left side, which the right side is where your gall is, whatever. So I go through all this, do that, go into work the following Monday, right? I get to work half a day, go to my lunch, immediate pain again. Like, I'm barely able to eat a little bit of my sandwich. And I'm just like, this sucks. This sucks. So, and I'm going to go ahead and pull the game back up here. So, and sorry for the dark screen for a moment there. And for my rambling. So, okay, fine. I'm at this point, I'm like, man, this pain really, really hurts today. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I need to just go to the ER. I had no other option at this time. So I go to the ER. ER does all their tests, and they're like, you're fine. They do an injection CT scan on me. They're like, you're fine. We don't find any issue within your organs. Your organs are all healthy. You're good to go. I'm like, okay. But one lady, the one nurse, as I'm leaving, she tells me, she's like, look, like, as I'm walking out, she's like, listen to me. She's like, I was in the same boat you were in a couple years ago. I think it's your gall. You need to proceed outside of here. You need to go work with a primary doctor. She's like, you need to have this, I'm good. She's like, you need to have this checked out. This is stuff we're not going to do in the ER. I'm like, okay. So I go set up with a primary doctor. It's been a while since I've been a primary doctor. Do tests, do everything. I did a heart stress test, which came back perfectly healthy. In fact, they were really impressed. Because on average, I walk about 5 to 7 miles a day, or I do an exercise bike for 6 to 10. Which I'm not joking. Like, that's legitimately something I do. And so they were really impressed. They're like, wow, you're actually really doing good with this stuff. I'm gonna die.
Activating laser security system.
So this all goes on. Okay, that's what it is. I can't remember now. So this is all going on. Let me see if I can do it with a pistol. I said the pistol game. So this is all going on. I do all these tests. I have some blood work done. I have a heart stress test, and then finally I have the ultrasound. Okay. So I have the ultrasound, and that's pretty much what confirmed it. Like, no, you still have this gallstone. It's bigger. So I have a gallstone. It's bigger. It's about 2.3 centimeters. Is what I've been told. And at that point, what I had to do is I had to go see a surgeon, schedule. So what I will say is I have a scheduled surgery. It is March 30th. super not looking forward to that. I've never had anything surgically done in my life besides my wisdom teeth out, and so I'm really nervous about having anything done. But everybody has assured me it's easier than having your wisdom teeth out, and you're going to be fine. And I'm sure I will be, but still, it's my body. I'm nervous. You know, anybody would be at this point. So, that's what's going on there. So because of that, you know, I work at a capacity where I'm sitting in front of... I forgot how good this part of this game is. So I work at a capacity where I am sitting in front of a computer 8 hours a day. So, you know, when I get done with that, I don't necessarily want to come home and sit in front of a computer for another 2 to 3 to play something, which is a shame because I just built this computer. So I've really not done much on this computer. Like, I played a little bit of Doom 2016. I started a run of The Witcher, modded that game. I played probably about 20 hours of it. And then, you know, when this stuff started, there was a good 2 weeks I was bedridden almost, and I was just playing some RPGs. I got really sucked into some RPGs. I beat Ys 8. Loved every minute of that game. I played through Tales of Berseria. Really enjoyed the story. Did not like the combat at all in that game. In fact, at the end of that game, I was so unimpressed with the combat in that game that I set it up to auto battle because I just wanted to finish the game. And so can you not, as I say this, as I shouldn't have... Okay, alright. I'm trying to think. I can go through the games. I was going to do a video. I actually recorded a video about an update, and then today, as I was sitting here, I was like, man, I feel okay right now. I should probably just do a live stream and go over all the stuff that's going on, which is why I'm doing this. So, and the video was kind of slapdash. I don't think I'm going to put it up. You know, I did it really fast, and I'm not happy with how the look of it is, so I'm probably not going to put that up. So, but, I played some things during my time off. Like I said, I played about 20 hours of The Witcher. I played some other stuff on PC a little bit until the pain started getting pretty bad. I was bedridden for a little bit, so I'm really excited about Doom Eternal. I already have it digitally pre-purchased. I was gonna get it on PC because I built this PC, and then obviously with everything happening, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sit in front of a computer and play through a 20-hour game. So I ended up pre-purchasing it on Xbox digitally. I had the collector's edition reserved for a long time, and then obviously because everything was going on, I'm just like, I don't want to spend $200 on a Doom helmet that probably won't fit my fat head. So, and it would just go on the shelf next to my Halo Master Chief helmet, honestly, but I decided against that. Yeah, so games I played, let's see. So as I said, the first thing I was like, man, you know, at this point I was bedridden. You know, after going to the ER, I was told to stay home for a couple days, so I got back into Ys 8, and I finished it. I put 70 hours into that game. I beat it. I loved every minute of it. It's probably my favorite recent JRPG other than Persona 5 that I've played. I really enjoyed my time. Really enjoyed my time with it. And then so that's why I was looking at Tales. I kind of looked at my shelf. I'm like, I have all these games. I actually have time. I should pick something out. Another JRPG. I really had the JRPG bug. And so I was like, I'm gonna play Tales. I have two of them. I have the Vesperia remake, which I have not. I've never played it. And I have Berseria. And I kind of did some YouTube research. I found a pretty cool YouTube channel that I would shout out if I could remember the name of it. That was a guy that was a pretty big JRPG fan. Basically said, like, Berseria is a good place to start if you've never played a game in the series. I was like, alright, fine. I'm gonna play that. So, like I said, and I was immediately sucked into the dark storyline. Like, the game has a really dark storyline that I was not expecting. I really got sucked in. I really liked it. I thought it was a really cool game, except the combat. I could not get into the combat. And I know this is going to be a sacrilegious thing to say for fans of the Tales franchise, because I know there are a ton of them out there. I don't like the combat in the Tales games. I find it bad. I like to either control all of the action or have it all turn-based. And this bothers the shit out of me. So I kind of looked up some guides and was like, how can I set this up to auto? And I set it up to auto battle, and that's how I played through that game. Because I just wanted to see the end of the story, because the story is really good. And the end of the story of that game is the most JRPG-ass JRPG ending I've seen in some time. But it's good. Like, it's a really good story, so... this part of this game is getting a little crazy. Anyway. So... did that, finished it, and then I said, well, I'm going to play a Plague Tale. I had 2 games that I bought a lot of games over Black Friday and Christmas break that were on sale, but 2 of them I bought actually hit Game Pass. So now I have 2 sealed copies. I have a Plague Tale Innocence, and I had Indivisible was the other one that I really wanted to play. And I was like, I'm going to, I just played 2 big JRPGs. I'm going to give that a little break. I'm going to play something that's probably shorter. And so I played Plague Tale. And the thing I'll say about Plague Tale is it's a wonderful looking game. It's one of the best looking games I've played in a while. The story is terrible in that game. Like, it started really good. It started really, really good, and it just fell. More and more I played it, it got more silly, more outrageous. Not even in just a video game sense, but just like in general. It just got worse and worse, and I'm like, man, this kind of sucks. To the point at the end, when I got to the final boss fight of that game, I'm just like, I hate everything about this. I don't like what's going on, and I was done. I was done. Oh, I get to do this part again. Lovely. This is actually a pretty cool part of this game, so I can't Oh boy. I don't want to waste that ammo, Oh wow. Yeah, buddy. The thing I'm really excited about as I go really off topic here with Doom is I'm really excited to play Doom 64 again as well. Like, that's a fantastic pre-order bonus. I'm really looking forward. And that's the thing that's gonna suck. Is I'll load that up as well on day one, because I remember playing that game. I would have been middle school when that game came out. I remember renting it, and that might have been the first. No, the first time I ever played Doom was on the Sega 32X at a friend's house. There was a kid that lived behind me when I was in grade school. That was like, I was a Nintendo kid. I didn't have a Sega, other than a Game Gear, as I've said many times. And this kid lived behind me. It wasn't a kid I normally hung out with either. He randomly had a Sega Genesis and a 32X. The expansion thing, and he was like, I have Doom, and at this point, I'd heard of people playing Doom, but I didn't have any friends, and this is crazy to say in 2020, but I didn't have any friends that really had a computer, so it was kind of like, wow, you have Doom, that's cool, the little bit I had seen of Doom was the Super Nintendo version, which is not good, and so I was like, okay. And so I went over to this kid's house, and that was my first, real interaction with Doom. Even today, I think Doom is a scary as hell game. Maybe it's just me being a kid, but, the game scared the hell out of me. So, I loved it. I couldn't get enough of it, man. I think it was, a week straight of going to this kid's house until we finished that game. like I said, it wasn't a kid I normally hung out with in the neighborhood either. It was just like, you have Doom? And it was just like, it was a kid that, like, the group of friends that I had at that point, like, we kind of hung out with this kid once in a while, but I don't even remember how it came up. It was just like, I have a Sega 32X and Doom. It was like, oh, really? And it was just like, I kind of want to see that. So, last point, I actually didn't play Doom on the PC until much later. I'd say I was probably in high school. So this would have been early 2000s. I'm gonna get rocked in. I'm gonna get rocked in place here. Another thing I'll say is I'm also running this game at 144 hertz on this monitor, which isn't gonna play back to me on YouTube, but because of that, there are parts of this game I have noticed that get a little it's not horrible. Like, I haven't seen anything really chug this game, but there are times where I'm like, yeah, it's probably the 144 hertz. I'm also running this on like Nightmare, like I think there's like a graphical option that's higher than Ultra, which is called like Nightmare. I mean, this game looks really good on PC, so. That was my first interaction with Doom as a kid. Doom 64, though, I remember renting it. I would have been like 6th, 7th grade-ish era. I remember renting it once. It's the Doom I've probably played the least. But of that era, it's the one that interests me the most, probably because of that. So I'm really excited to also play that. And I thought it was cool that I read that they were adding like new content to it, and that seems pretty cool. So. So I'm real interested in seeing that. So, yeah, Friday, I'm pumped to play Doom. I'm going to capture footage, and I plan on doing a review. That might be the first video I do for the channel this year. All things go well, and I continue to feel somewhat okay. Between now and that surgery, I should have that video out as soon as I can. Resident Evil is going to be the more interesting thing to tackle right now, simply because that game comes out the same week that I have this surgery, so we'll see how quickly I bounce back. So I'm out for I have about a week off because of this surgery that I have scheduled right now, and it's kind of also because of what's going on in the world. That's probably going to turn into I have to be medically clear to return. Because again, I'm going to have incisions and everything, and I'm not going to want to, I don't want to mess with that with what's going on right now, obviously. So. Let's kill you out. I'm trying not to mention what's going on by name, because I've seen all the people on YouTube freaking out, because if you mention it by name, you basically get demonetized. Even though none of my videos are monetized, I don't want to strike against them. Mention the name of what's going on. It's the dumbest thing in the world. Like, that's real dumb. You really just stay with me, man. Anyways, on the flip side of all this, so this I have all this going on with me, right? And then this morning, I wake up and do my normal thing before I have to go to work, because I work on Sundays. And I eat what has been my normal breakfast since this has been going on.
Lockdown disengaged.
I drink coffee, perfectly fine. And I go to drink some cold water. So if you see me drinking water a little weird here, this will explain why. I go to drink some water, immediate back tooth pain. And I'm like, what is this? And I realized between last night and this morning, I cracked a filling on my back left molar. And so now tomorrow I have to go to the dentist and hopefully get that filled. I mean, because of what's going on. Thankfully, like my dentist is still open right now, so that's not an issue. But I mean, I'd rather do it now than wait a couple days and then, you know, oh hey, we're closed. What am I supposed to do then? You know? And I don't know if I've said on this channel before, but like, you know, I was really good as a teenager with my teeth. I had braces. I had a lot of tooth problems as a kid. And then I hit my 20s. I really stopped doing shit. And take care of your teeth. That's all I'll say. Like, I didn't take care of my teeth for a long time. And it wasn't until I cracked a back molar, not the one that has the filling that broke, but I actually cracked and lost part of my tooth. I got swallowed a couple of years ago, and that's what set into motion. You know, I went in, thankfully I had a family friend who was a dentist, and so I went in, yeah, I think that was me, and that's when they looked at my teeth and they're like, you have like 25 cavities, and you need to have this crown, and I had a ton of stuff, and it was because they don't fill all those right away. Like, if you have a situation like that, they don't go, okay, let's, you know, numb your entire mouth and fill these cavities. Like, that's not how it works. It was a process of about 2.5 years to fill all of these cavities. And then you have the crown. So, that was the last thing. They, like, super patched that up for, in a long time, I lived with this, like, weird patching over the tooth that I had. Until finally they told me, like, this is starting to fill, you have this crown done. I'm like, okay. Yeah, so in the last, like, 5 years, I've had over 25 cavities filled. Thankfully, that's all it was. Like, I didn't have to have any kind of root canal, and I had nothing like that. But there's always that fear, which is why I'm like, no, I need to get in right away, because I don't want it to turn into something like that, because I'm not ready to handle that. So, yeah. So, it hasn't been fun. What I'm saying. The last couple months have not been fun for me behind the scenes, and hoping to get better. You know, like I said, today is one of the days that I felt okay. Like, I still have pain, and I always have pain with this right now, either on my left side or my right side. I always have some sort of pain. It's never silent. Like, you know, they were trying to first tell me, like, well, it's a silent stone, it shouldn't do anything. I'm like, it's not silent if I feel it. So, but some days are better than others. The worst about... So I finally had my surgeon appointment this past Thursday. Because I had to wait from about 2.5 weeks from being given the option, like, well, you can go to a surgeon. I'm like, yes, please. Like at this point, like, I just want this gone. I just want this done. Like, sure, could I lose more weight and maybe the pain will go away? Absolutely. And I'm never going to, at this point, I'm never going to stop exercising and eating healthy. Like, I'm not going to, like, I've been at this for 4 years now. I'm not going to stop. But, you know, at this point, it's like, no, I need to, okay, that would have been good. At this point, I want to not have the problem anymore. Because once they take it out, that's done. It's over. You're not going to, you know, there's not going to be any more pain because there's nothing to cause that, you know what I mean? So at that point, they were kind of like, well, you know, it's the silent, but if you want to have it out, we can recommend it. And I was like, okay. So, and this was in, I'd say, end of February. So, you know, after that, it's just been like going to this, you know, surgeon appointment. And then I had the doubts of like, well, what if this guy looks at, you know, my test results and stuff and says, oh, just lose weight, exercise, and it'll go away again. No, he was very clear, like, I got in there, and the first thing he said to me, he's like, you know, I started to go through my story. I'm like, well, 4 years ago, you know, I was diagnosed with a gallstone. And he's like, I'm going to stop you there. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, how long ago was this? He's like, 4 years ago. Like, so you've been living with this for 4 years. I'm like, yeah, that's not right. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, no, you need to have this out. You need to speak up with this before it's divorced. I'm like, okay, sure. And that kind of ended that conversation. And they just kind of reassure you about the procedure, what they're going to be doing. I'm pretty sweet person. So thankfully he was brief. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did that. Something's gonna kick it off. I'm probably only going to stream for about 10 minutes. It was a short surprise. Like I said, this was a last minute thing too. Like, I didn't give this thought all day or anything. I literally was sitting here earlier playing some Doom and I was like, no, I'm actually feeling okay. I should do something like that. So. One thing I'm looking at doing maybe later this year now with this new computer's build. I still have the, I'll pause here and I'll show you guys. I still have the, this Elgato, the HD60, which it's never worked the way I wanted it to work, and maybe it will with this computer. I haven't messed with it on this computer. I haven't even hooked it up to this computer yet. So maybe it'll work better on this machine than it did on my previous one. But one thing I want to do at some point this year is I'm thinking about getting that 4K PCI card version instead. I've heard a lot better things about that than even the free USB. Granted, I think the USB ports in my previous computer were dying. Because I've had no USB connection issues since I set up this machine. So that's at least something. Shit. God, what a great soundtrack this game has. This is one of the few like recent game soundtracks in the last like 5-6 years that I still actively listen to. It's like this, Ys 8, Persona 5 is a really good one. This is probably, I would rank up there as one of the best things. Wow, you just took that. Remember when you were down and I was going to end your life? There we go. Okay, remember when that was a thing? I'm not messing with you. Let's quiet up. Just destroyed that guy's shield. That's actually fun. Even today, I actually sat on like I actually saw a buddy of mine pre-purchase game on PC. And I was like, maybe I should just buy it there too. And I was like, what am I doing? I actually made a mistake a couple of weeks ago when I was feeling better. This was probably like mid-February when I was feeling okay. I had a day where I was on my PC and I was like, man, I should pre-purchase Doom. It was right after I got tax return. And I was like, man, I should, I'm going to pre-purchase Doom on PC. And so I was like, I'll look at one of those, key sites or whatever, see if anybody's got it. So Green Man Games, shout out, they're actually pretty cool people over there. Had Doom for like $47.99 or something like that. And I was like, that's a good deal. That's about what I'd want to pay day one, So I was like, all right, fine. I'll buy that. That was dumb of me. I get to do this all over again, man. So I was like, all right, I'll do that. So without even thinking, without even looking at anything, I just assume it's a Steam key. So I pre-purchase it, whatever. Get my email confirmation within a few minutes. And the first thing I read on it is, DRM Bethesda launcher. And I immediately look at that and go, I'm not playing this game on Bethesda's launcher. I have no desire to ever install that on my computer. So I immediately contacted those people and said, no. Like, can I return this? And they were actually really cool about it. So what I ended up doing is I returned it, and then I bought, I used the credit, so quote unquote, to pre-purchase Resident Evil 3 on PC, even though I'm probably going to play through that on the Xbox first. I will have a PC copy of it as well. So look forward to that. I'm really looking forward to Resident Evil 3, man. The more they show, the better it looks. Can't wait. Cannot wait. It's a real good time for, but like, it feels like we've had, like, with all the doom and gloom that's going on right now, and we've had a couple of really dry months for video games, I feel. We're starting to hit, and hopefully these games actually still hit, considering what's going on. Like, I'm very confident, like, Doom Eternal's not going to be delayed. That game's gold and is already in critics' hands and stuff, so I think that will be fine. But things like Final Fantasy VII Remake, I don't know if that game's going to hit on April 10th. That might get pushed, simply because it's a worldwide release. So, Resident Evil, I think, will be fine as well. But there's actually stuff coming out now. So, like, you know, Doom Eternal, 2 weeks you got Resident Evil, and then 2 weeks, and a week after that you have Final Fantasy. There's stuff coming out in the next period. I will briefly say I did play the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo. I actually liked what I played. It's not perfect, and I had a weird issue. I don't know if it was like a hard drive caching issue that maybe will fix when I play it. I did not mean to grab that guy. I wasted that. Just rock his way. Anyways, I don't know. So, like, I couldn't watch the opening and closing cutscenes when I played that demo. It was like they were stuttering. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it was a hard drive caching issue or what was going on. But it sucked. And I was bummed. But playing through the actual demo was fine. The combat system's weird to get used to. It's not as bad as I thought. You know, I never really got bummed when somebody was like, well, it's like Kingdom Hearts. It's not. I don't mind Kingdom Hearts. But it's okay. The combat, like I said, I still would have preferred them to retain the same combat from Final Fantasy VII from a year ago. But I understand the need to change things up for a modern Final Fantasy game. I'm also glad it's not like Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 15 I played about half of. I thought it was okay, but I'm glad it's not like that. But I walked away from it more confident about Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1, as I like to call it, than I did going in. So, I think that game overall is probably going to turn out to be good. They're out there touting that Doom Eternal is going to run at 60 frames on both Xbox consoles. So I'm real curious. I'm really curious to see what resolution that runs at on the Xbox, the original Xbox. I think I read it is 1800 PM, and that's going to be the highest of all the consoles in terms of resolution. This is what's going to rock my world. I have a grenade. I don't use grenades ever in this game. Oh wow, I actually still have shots for this thing. I didn't think about that. keep forgetting that. It's like, you just picked up the BFG. You should be using that. Oh, wow. That's going to be a waste of that time.
Demonic presence.
Stop monkeying around.
Lockdown. Disengaged.
Guess we'll call our elevator here.
Alert. Lazarus service elevator.
Yeah, I started this playthrough of Doom back in January when I first built a computer, because I was like, I'm going to play through Doom 2016, prepare for Doom Eternal, and then obviously all this stuff happened and I never finished this. Oh, wow. See if I can get them all in. Cool, buddy. Then I'll come up here.
Demonic presence.
Oh no, they all got destroyed.
Lockdown. Disengaged.
Never mind. I think that might be the end of this level. I can't remember. Oh wow, that really hit that too. It sucks. Like, and then I was afraid to eat something at work, and then so like I packed my lunch for work today, and then I get to the lunchtime at work, and I'm like, man, I don't know if this is gonna go good. And so all I did was I packed a very soft sandwich, and I go to eat the sandwich, and at this point, like, all I've had to eat today is like a little bit of cereal and some English muffins, because that's what I've basically been my breakfast for the past like 2 months. And I eat that, and it goes down okay.
You'll
Like,
find
not the
the
issue.
healing
The biggest
stone
issue
in
is
Olivia's
anything that's
private
cold.
archival lab deep
And
within
so,
this facility. Few have
At
ever
this point,
seen
then I'm
the
like, man,
stone.
now I'm
But
starving
if you
the rest of
came
the
to
day.
us for a
So
reason, you might be able to see something in it we haven't.
one thing I've missed since all this has been going on is I really haven't had any pizza, because obviously like the cheese on pizza and stuff, like anything like that can trigger pain for sure.
It
really
is
miss
not a
pizza.
mistake that he has come
really
into our
miss it.
possession.
And like I mean,
The
when I was
demons
really
prophesied
heavy
his return.
years ago and stuff, like
If
I
he
ate
wakes,
pizza all the time, and
it
even when I lost
justifies
weight,
the
it's just
entire mission.
controlling portions.
For
So
he is the
I wasn't
only
eating
one
like
who
as
can
much
stand
pizza,
against them.
but I was still eating pizza. I like how this is kind of framing. Nothing's going on here. I don't know why it's getting kind of framing here.
Attention to all Lazarus personnel. There will be an open forum to
Oh
resolve.
boy. It's such a good looking game. Even still. That's why I'm excited, because I think, I can't remember if this one was the one that ran on id Tech 5 or 6, and the new one was 6 or 7. I don't remember. I don't remember what's what. All I know is it's a real good looking game. Are you dead, homie? Or are you just chilling? Okay, he's dead. I was like, you just chilling on the ground there? Like, what are we doing? Oh shit. Well, that's lovely. Buddy, get me there. Wherever, I'll take that. Oh, I kind of remember this part. Yeah, this is a big...
Demonic presence. Activating. Lockdown.
You know, one thing I just realized is I should probably, I haven't leveled up any of this shit in a while. This is, yeah, here. Might as well level that all up. And then, what is this? The chain gun? Oh, I can do all of them there. Okay, whatever. No, good enough for me. Yeah, I've been really bad with looking at this stuff. And what else we got? That's a good one. That's a good one. What do we got here? Oh, okay. I can't believe I let those go that long. Let's just kick it off now. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah. Oh. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about Doom Eternal. Like, I loved everything that they did in Doom. Like, Doom 2016 to me is one of the most perfect game releases of this generation of consoles. I mean, even PC. It's a tremendous looking game. It plays wonderfully. Like, it's pitch perfect control. Like, they really stayed true to the game. They made a team, they didn't mess around with the formula very much. And I think the people behind it are really cool and talented, and I think they did such a phenomenal job of this game. I like everything they've showed in terms of the direction for the sequel. I've watched. Oh wow! I didn't know you don't see it. It's never over. Okay.
Demonic presence eliminated. Lockdown disengaged.
Volunteers are currently needed for the UAC's exciting new revenue research program. Expand your potential. Experience something.
Olivia activated the Hell Wave from somewhere inside this facility. I did hope she could rise above their influence. I was wrong. She proved to be weaker than I thought she'd be.
But yeah, I mean, we're probably gonna save it up here in just a minute. But that's pretty much what's been going on with the channel and stuff, and with me behind the scenes. I don't know, I keep pulling that thing out. Look at this guy rolling like he's gonna do some work. Oh shit. Hey, brought behind me some more challenges. Cool. Settle down there. Oh, one other thing I'll say is, my girlfriend and I sat and watched all of Castlevania Season 3 this weekend. I loved it. It further solidifies that as like just such a incredible, like, at this point, what does Konami mean by not making an actual new Castlevania? I'll never understand. Like, this thing has been such a home run success for them. And I thought and spoilers obviously, but I thought having a season without Dracula would make that show suffer, and I think I don't want to say like it was a better season because he wasn't there, because he's such a commanding presence of that show. That's the whole point. But I think it gave them an opportunity to really explore other characters, and I think that was the best part of it. Was they explored some original characters, but they also explored some characters from other Castlevania games they've kind of thrown in. Like one of the things that still baffles my mind about this Castlevania thing is that they are pulling the two main sources they're pulling from are Castlevania 3 and of all things Curse of Darkness, which has Hector, it has Isaac, and in this season it has Saint Germain, which was a fantastic addition this season. They deal with the Infinite Corridor, which is awesome. I super did not expect that. So we're going to save the game here. I super did not expect that. So highly, highly, highly recommend Castlevania Season 3. I thought it was fantastic through and through. One part of it I was a little like, I don't know if I would have done that. I think you could have done that a better way. But other than that, I enjoyed it. Can't recommend it enough. And it is super not a kid-friendly show. So if you're looking at it as like a parent or something, or like, man, I loved Castlevania as a kid playing that game, I'll watch it with my kids. Super no, do not do that. Like, especially this most recent season, it's really rough. So anyways, guys, that's what's been going on with me and the channel. I'll keep you guys informed on the different social media pages, the Marvel Gallery Facebook and Twitter accounts. You know, any changes, updates, I'll probably post something, you know, once I get out of surgery on the 30th, just to let you guys know that I'm okay and still kicking. And then from there we'll go. Like I said, I kind of want to have a Doom Eternal review up before, you know, I have this done. It depends on how quickly I get through the game and how I'm feeling. You know, if every day was like today in terms of my pain level, this wouldn't be so bad, but it's such a hard thing to determine. Like every day, like, you know, tomorrow I might wake up and I'm in immense pain. It's really not fun. So, and if you've ever been through it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So anyways, stay tuned to the channel. New content is coming, I assure you guys. And if you watched the stream at all tonight, I hope you enjoyed it. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later.